Right. So this is a video on how we do constraints. I think I figured it out. So what I have here is my scene. This is basically just key poses, goes there, grabs, and goes that way. I'm missing a key pose here from here to here. So tell you what, maybe I'll do it. So I'm gonna add one key pose here, frame 100. So I haven't started to do the constraint yet, so let's just give this a try. So let's see, it goes here, goes forward, goes back. Alright, so I need one key pose at frame 100 here. And let's try to pose this guy out. I'll say I'll go here a bit. And see where it came from. It's gonna go there. So it can go a bit further that way. Pop, 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 pop. What am I looking at actually? I'm looking at that guy. How far it travels from here to frame 100 to there. So that's a bit of change there. And we'll just let you go down quicker. Here, this thing goes here. That guy is gonna grab it. Right? Grab that perhaps. This head should be selected, rotated that way. It's gonna do the grabbing action now. Clink, clink another way. So it'd be like pop, 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 pop. That doesn't look right yet. Yeah, I had trouble figuring this one out. So let's see if I can do that. Pop, pop. Yeah, that's kind of like what I want to do, but let's see. Not too bad. Okay, let's not be fussy. This is okay for now. It's not too bad. Alright, so let's do the constraint, shall we? So we're gonna go from here, grab, so it's gonna constrain here. Alright, for that we need to have a locator. As you can see here, I already have a locator right down there on the floor. If I show it here in this shot, which is funny, it's not showing there, but yeah, there it is. If I switch on locator, you can see that my locator right now is on the floor. Well, this is just to kind of mark the area where the center of the can is on the floor. So I'm not going to use this to animate. This will remain there pretty much until the very end of the shot. I'm going to get a different locator. So let's see, where's my outline now? I seem to have lost it. And it is nowhere to be found. It is here. Alright, cool. So that's my outliner, that's my locator 2, which is that one. I'll duplicate that, Control D, I get locator 3. This is what I want to animate. So let's just rename it locator can. Okay. So that can will sit underneath locator can here. And to not confuse myself, I'll just put it at the top there. Let's just go to wireframe, enable that axis, it's now yellow. I'll hold V and make it snap here at the top of the can, as you can see there. Cool. And I'll select the can and I'll see where the pivot is. Right now the pivot is at a funny place, which is there. I'll just center the pivot of the can. So now it's in the center. But I know eventually if I'm gonna make it drag and whatnot, I want it to kind of move around that part. So with the can selected, the mesh of the can selected, I'll press D. I will change the pivot to somewhere along that edge there. So let's see if I can hold C and with the mouse. Yes, I can. Now it is, the pivot is there. And then hit D again to exit the pivot. Right, cool. We still haven't put our can underneath the locator can, which I can do very quickly if I move the mouse button and put it there. Now this is parented. But let's do it the proper way. Well, not proper, but a different way. So the way we parent is basically we select the child and then we select the parent and then press P on our keyboard, and then that will now be parented to locator can. Or like I did earlier, you can just select the can, middle mouse button, and drag it onto locator can using the middle mouse button. So that's now parented. It will move as I move the locator around. Now let's do the parenting, and I'll put my cursor at frame 100. Right? I'm in animation. I'll go to constraint. Alright, and I'll go to parent constraint and go to the options. There are some settings here, but I'll just leave constraint translates, constraint rotates on, and hit apply. Okay. Oh, I didn't select the right things. So what we need to do, we want to constrain. We have to select the thing that will move, that will lead the constraint, and we select the child, which is our locator. Alright, the thing that will be constrained. So this locator will be constrained to this control here on the robot arm, the head here. So I'll go to constraint, parent, and I'll just click that one. And by right, it should be constrained. I can see a constraint operation here. Alright, now if we go here, already we go here. If I move this thing around now, you'll see that my can will move together with the head. It's kind of what we want, except for the parts before. Like all these parts at the start here, it shouldn't be constrained just yet. It should start constraining right about here, frame 100. We'll continue the constraining until the end. Alright, so how do we do that? How do we switch it off for this pose and the ones that came before? Right, this is how we do it. There is this control here. You can find it in the outliner. Under the locator can, there's this one operation called parent constraint. What you want to do is you want to enable and disable this one. Right now it is set to 1, means that the constraint is on. So what I'll do at frame 100, I'll just place a key there. So I'll say key, right mouse button, key selected there. So that now you can see the red mark is there. Alright, at frame, this frame here, the one frame that came before, I want to enter the value of 0 there. Right, cool. And then just to be sure that there is a key there, I'll right mouse button and say key selected. So if I go to none here, I'll see that since I am selecting this, I see there are keys here and here at frame 99. And if I go backwards here, you'll see that my can isn't constrained to the robot arm whatsoever. It only starts to constrain when I scrub it forward. See, now only now is it moving with the robot arm. Right, So ideally, that's what you want to do. And that's how you constrain stuff. Now, the problem with this, if you've um, noticed me animating, you'll see that the can doesn't really, stick to where it should be. Right. So how do we solve this problem? If I were to select the locator can, and I say I want to animate this guy a bit so that it actually sits in between the claws here, you'll see that the moment I press S with the locator can selected, like so, it's going to mess up our animation straight away. See? Now it's going to sit there and, not following the claw whatsoever. So that's not the way to do it. So I'll just delete this again. And by right now, our animation should be working like normal. But we still have to fix that part where it doesn't sit inside of the claw. So a solution is to kind of key the can itself, the mesh. By right, we shouldn't do this, but that's a solution that I found to be easy. Or what you can do is you create another locator underneath. Means that you kind of get a different locator and place it underneath here. For instance, I'm gonna put it here and put it down there, and that guy goes underneath here. So it's gonna look something like that. I'll just undo and say no, I'm not gonna do that. I'll just animate this guy instead. So let me see. I had a keyframe at 100 and 105. So at frame 100, I'll just key this guy, press S. Frame 105, I key that guy, and I will move it in place. So I'll just push it here a bit. And depending where you want to drag it, yes, drag it down below like that, perhaps. It's not going to look correct. There's some penetration going on here, which I need to fix with this animation. I'll just do it very quickly. Right, it's not noticeable here, but I'll just do it just for the sake of it. Right, that's good. Alright, let's just scrub the animation. By right, this should work great already. So now it's going to sit between the claws and animate perfectly. Alright? And what if you want to let go of the can? Okay, so I'm gonna try to do this and show it to you. So say that's my animation, and I'm gonna create a key pose somewhere here. Press S, and in this key pose I'll just flip it that way, so it's gonna throw this can perhaps. Change it back to object that way. Maybe drag it even more. Drag it down perhaps. That guy goes that way. Start to push it that way. So it goes that. And I could animate this guy if I wanted to, but let's not do that just yet. So I'm gonna push it here, and in the next drawing I will throw it. So I'll select this guy, move it that way. This guy goes that way. Let's just not a nice pose, but yeah, I'm just animating it pretty much straight ahead now. Not a nice pose though. Let's see. Okay, I gotta pull this back a bit. Something like that. Alright. Alright, now we want to kind of throw that thing away. How to do that? So I'm gonna open the claw somewhere here. Alright, so we'll just open the claw and we want to switch off the constraint somewhere here. So at frame 114, go back here, no character set, select the parent constraint. I will actually key here first, sorry, right mouse, select that attribute name, right mouse button, key selected. One frame before that, I'll key select it as well at frame 113, and that should be still 1. Frame 114, make that 0, and I'll say key selected. Now it's going to jump here, which is not ideal. So what we want to do is we can't add a key to this guy because that will mess up all our animations. So I'll select this guy and I'll just use my wool, go here, here, and let's just make it show inside of the frame somewhere there, and rotate it a bit, go that way a bit, maybe rotate it that way, bring it down a bit, just ever so slightly, and one frame here, press S. Did I get that right? I think so. I'll just key everything. So I go to each key pose, press S, press S, press S here, there, here. Okay, here is where it's gonna go away. I'll go to object, go a bit there, S, maybe rotate it ever so slightly so that it goes in an arc. Push it that way a bit, so it'd be like, maybe really make it almost gone, like you see only a bit of it, and then in the final frame 116 just make it go away outside of the shot. So oh, okay, that's not nice. So at some point here I gotta hold that key pose here, there. So I'll copy this, put it here, the clause is a bit funky there, and the reason for that is most probably this claw is animated, so I'll just select all of that. I'll go get my graph editor, which is here. Select everyone here, I'll just make it step forward now. Right, let's see. And that can is looking funky. So we gotta do the same thing. I'll just change it to stat for now. Right, that seems to do the trick. Right. But what if, at some point later, you decide you want to make it linear. All right, so I'm gonna show you, what happens if we do that. Say I go to my graph editor, and then this is the can, and then I'll say let's just turn everyone linear or flat. Just make it linear. So now there's movement here in the can. So by right, we should have the same movement for the arm. So I select all the controls of the arm, and I'll get my graph editor again and change everyone to linear. Let's preview how it looks like. Oh, there's a double spin there, so I gotta fix that a bit. But it kind of does the trick there, except for the claw opening too soon. So let me just see if I can fix the claw very quickly. Goes here to here. That means that I need one key post here before it throws that thing away. Yeah. So I'll just move you a bit. Oh, better not. It's at frame 114. I have to remember that I animated a can. So if everyone moves a couple of frames, I gotta move the can as well. I gotta remember that. So let me just go back to Roboto. It's not move. Let's just fix the can only. Alright, so somewhere here, still stick, that's gonna release. This is where it should stick. So I press S here, and since it should still stick, I'll just make sure it sticks there. So only at the final part it lets go of it. So if I see here, drag, there. In one frame it's gonna open up. If I wanted, maybe that could be a drag, perhaps. So it'd be like, you get it? Poop, poop. It's not nice, so let's just bring it down a bit. Okay, here's where I do some more finesse, but I think the idea is, you get the idea of how to do constraint. If not, just repeat this video again and again, and you get the idea. Basically, you want to select the parent constraint, right? And there should be a attribute there. This is what you use to kind of switch the constraint on and off. So if you look at my example, frame 99, it's off. Frame 100 is on. That's the moment where the claw grabs the can, and then it continues to constrain, still constrain here, and then in one split second at frame 114 it lets go. So that you see that attribute is set to 0 now. 1 0 1 0. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll share you this video, go through it. I'll share the scene file as well, and if you have any more questions you can ask in the group. So sorry, in the lab. The other thing is, or in the WhatsApp group, the other thing is, what was it? And I forgot what I wanted to say. The other thing is, yes, I do not duplicate the can anymore. as you can see here, I only work with one can and one locator on top of the can. Okay, the can be animated. As you can see here, I have keys here on the can. The locator doesn't have any keys. As you can see on the timeline, there's no reds here. I only animate the mesh of the can, and I place a constraint like so on the locator itself. Alright, so any questions, I'll see you either in the WhatsApp group or later on Wednesday in the lab. Thank you very much. See you later. Bye. Happy animating.